Hey friends, Wayne over here at the Ram Man Inc. Don't forget the ink. Hey, going over this Hemi series, and most people don't realize what all's involved in the Hemi booster bracket, and then, you know, the rear of the booster. So, many people ask me, because this is from the original service manual and parts manual, talking about the spacers that you have to keep the geometry right. That's part of it. And you see your filter not serviced. Well, they just never went bad. Yeah, most people don't know that. Your booster breathes out the back. It has to suck air in and out. When it applies, it can't create a vacuum behind the diaphragm. Some gas must replace the space. So anyway, so here we go. This beautiful unit right here, this specific Hemi unit, is going out to Robert and Jamie, father and son, 70 Hemi CUDA, 9191. So front to back, here is their Hemi master cylinder. This is an original NOS unit, one out of my collection. It's obvious that nothing has ever been in there, ever. It is extremely obvious that that has never been bolted up to nothing. Extremely obvious. So, and on top of that, it has been bored and sleeved. And when I do that, that has always been my signature, and people don't know it. Yes, I anodize my pistons orange. So I take the original ones and anodize them. That identifies them, and it puts a hard coat back on them like original. So here's their unit. So here's a Hemi booster. We got to have a check valve so that we can test them again. This is just a last minute test to make sure that everything's good to go. You know, Uncle Ron tested it when we put it together, but these people are spending a bundle. This is a lot of damn money, a couple $1,000s or more. And so, you know, the shit's got to be right. It's got to be right all the way. So before well, we can put this on before I test it. So, original parts diagram. So what goes on first? The filter goes on. Y'all didn't know there was a filter behind that. That's right, because they rot and they blew away. Booster retainer plate. Once again, Hemi pattern's different than all others. You typically have to kind of dangle it down, catch, grab. There you go. Studs move a little bit. Okay. 1/4-inch spacers. Then the brackets go down. This hooks to there, and the brackets are block washer and nuts. That is the back of a Hemi unit. So, if you ain't seeing all these little parts, that one that dude's giving you the good deal on in the back of his garage, it's telling you that it's a Hemi booster, and it's not, but he's swearing that it is. Or even if you get a Hemi booster, that's only part of it. You have to have the small parts to go behind it. So, the only difference between Hemi brackets on a B or an E body, so from 66 when they were introduced to 71, The only difference is the pedal link itself. The E-body dash sets back about 1 inch farther than a B-body. They moved it back to give them a little bit more room. This is a B-body rod. It's the short one. The B-body rod is approximately about 1 inch shorter than an E-body rod. There are no others. So, after watching this, don't call me up and say, well, I don't know whether I have a B-body or an E-body. Well, there's only two. And if you can't tell the difference, don't call me. I don't want to hear from you. I'm busy. So, let's test this thing. We got to make sure that it works good. Like I said, this is a father and son working on a Hemi E-body, which in my book is super badass. Alright, we're hooked up to vacuum. What we expect to see is power assist and a very nice smooth action and rebound. I am depressing this with my little thumb. That is the power of a tandem Bendix booster. This booster, to this day, is more powerful than 95% of anything on the road. That's a fact. That's why they chose it. So, obviously, we got great power assist, because I'm going to show you, you ain't never going to push that with your finger, with your paw, with your palm. You ain't going to push it. So, obviously the action is good and it rebounds well. We have nice smooth travel up front. See our push rod? We got nice smooth travel. Now, so we've tested a lot of this stuff already. Now, we're going to test the last two things. The reason that you have vacuum reserve in a normal car is so that you can stop if you lose vacuum. In a Hemi, they needed all the reserve they could get because of a mechanical can, and they wanted to have some reserve. The can does not have to hold vacuum forever and ever. It's not saving astronauts. It's not sending people to outer space. It's hooked up to a continual vacuum source when the engine's running. It can't have any major leaks. Yeah, you'll see an idle, okay, but it doesn't have to hold vacuum forever. When the motor shut off, you going down the highway, you need to be able to apply the brakes and pull off safely. One nice, good emergency stop. Now, if the cans leak, we will not have any vacuum. We've been sitting here bullshitting why our Hemi shut off. We've been coasting down the highway. If the check valve is not working right one way, it will leak. So, the question of the day is, do we have any power assist after we've been sitting here bullshitting? There's one. You can hear him breathing. That inrush means that you've basically lost all your vacuum. It's pulling in outside air to fill the space. That's done. So, I can no longer push this son of a bitch. takes all of my strength. To get it to go that far. Don't call me up after watching this video, wondering whether or not your booster works. Don't do it. I've showed y'all over and over again. Don't do it. So, obviously, we all saw the action on it. It's very nice, very smooth, and very powerful. Yes. Tandem booster. The output on it is about 25 to 1. That's correct. 25 to 1. For every pound on the back, you get about 25. So you put 4 pounds on the back, you got 100. 100 psi. You put 25 pounds on the back, you got about 500. Leg, panic stop, 500. Yep. You got 500 leaving out of the master cylinder, going down to those factory pin calipers. Those pistons are 2.75. You do the math. They come out, those pistons come out to 5.996 or whatever. 6 square inches. So you take 500 psi going through the caliper. The caliper now has, what is 500 times 6? 500 times 6 is 3,000 pounds at the rotor. That's what it takes to stop disc brake cars. That is why manual disc brakes don't work. I've had so many clients, don't mean to get on a tangent, but I have had so many clients over the years spend their savings, retirement, kids' money, putting together Hemi clones, blown alcohol 528s, convertible Hemi Cudas. The dude in Arkansas that spent his farm subsidy $275,000. They all put these Hemi clones together, and then they bolt on a O'Reilly master cylinder for $29.95 on the firewall, and they wonder why this $200,000 animal that they built, they can't even leave the driveway because it doesn't have any brakes. You've built a $200,000 monument that is unusable. It might as well be a tree. God bless you, God bless America, and happy Mopar.